So if you have text or any other graphics, you can just go in here and edit it, which brings us right to the next one, which is essential sounds. And here, of course, we need to select a sound first. And now you can actually choose the auto tag, or we can tag it manually as dialogue, music, sound effects, or ambience. Here we have a lot of options, which is pretty amazing. So let's say we drag in our music here, boom. And we have it selected. We can auto tag it, or as I said, manually. So let's say we test the program and let's see if it's auto tagging correct. We can now see it is detected as music, which is correct. If it's not correct, we can clear that audio type here. And now we have all kinds of different options. We can choose some presets. We can remix it directly to 60 seconds if we want, without choosing the remix tool here, which can be pretty helpful if we are aiming for a 60-second video. We can also, if we have different audio types in here, like having talking head, like someone speaking, we can detect the speaking part as talking head, and then we can duck it against vocals. So it's going to go down in loudness when someone is talking, which can save a lot of time. So you don't have to keyframe or like manually edit it. The other way would be with command and clicking here on that line. You can actually make keyframes, and then you can bring up or down the value. You can basically just bring up the volume, the decibel right here. So on the bottom here, you can see how it's affecting it and how it's going up and down the audio. Yes, you can pretty much just deal with the loudness here. You can also go up here and like change the clip volume, up to you. But if you change it here, like I did with the keyframes, it will automatically create keyframes, which you can preview in that effects control as well. So if you are changing it here in the timeline, you'll also see it here as keyframes, which you can move here, and now it's going to change in the timeline as well. That's pretty good to know. So next up is Lumetri color, which is also pretty important because this can be used to color your videos. You have different options here, which is first of all the basic. So you can check them and uncheck them. And as soon as you did any changes here, it's directly going to affect the clip, and you can see it here in the effects controls. You can control both. You can either change here the temperature. You see, if I change something here in the effects tab, it's also going to change in the Lumetri color panel here. So yeah, it's totally up to you where you like to do your edits and where you want to do your Lumetri colors. And yeah, you also have the creative part. You can add here some LUTs, either some preset LUTs, or you can like upload your own LUTs. But in color grading, we are going to talk in a different video. But yeah, just to let you know that you have seen it, you also have the curves here. To edit the curves, you can select different colors. For example, we can just like select it at orange and like completely desaturate it, or like crank up the saturation. These curves are pretty nice. You can use here, change it into different colors, for example, which can be really trippy but also helpful in a lot of moments, because if you have too much colors, for example, in your clip, you just want to take out some colors, and you also have the option to vignette. You see here, if you go into plus, it's going to create a white vignette. If we go into minus, it's going to create a dark vignette. Vignettes are also pretty cool. You can change the feather and everything. So yeah, just that you have seen that. You also have that metadata if you need that. You can also set markers. Here in the main timeline, you can, for example, press M and you create a marker, and in here he is going to show you the markers. So here you can also like tag the markers with different colors, which can be pretty helpful if you have a big edit and you want to jump to markers. You can just open up the markers option here. You can jump to them and like edit the in and out. And yeah, this can be really helpful to keep a big project structured and have a good overview. Yes, you also have the history of the changes you did. Yeah, like you can see here what I've done. So if you want to move back to something, you can just yeah, select it. You can activate the change or not, but you have here the option to jump back a couple of steps, so you don't have to press Command C all the time, but you can just like make a lot of changes at the same time. Undone. Yeah, I think that's right. So this can also be pretty helpful, the history. Then you have events. I'm actually not really sure what I'm using that for. Events I pretty much never use. And you have the time code. It speaks for itself. Here's the time code. Same as you see here. We are now at 3 seconds and 21 milliseconds. Just see the same here in the time code. Yes. That's pretty much the windows for now. And the last thing is actually, you can see here on that tab, the loudness of your audio. Yes, it pretty much shouldn't be here clipping at the 0. A sweet spot is always between -6 and -3. So make sure you control here your loudness. All right, now you know a lot in Premiere Pro. So let's move on. And next up, we have that little icon here on the right top, which is full screen. So if you have, of course, you have here your preview. If you click that full screen, you're going to see it full screen, which can be pretty cool to check your footage and check if everything is cool. Just click that full screen button and enjoy this preview. Next up, there is the open progress dashboard. I don't really use that one. Here's the quick export. I do not really use the quick export either. I'll show you in a second how to export your video. And this button here, the workspace button, is similar to the Windows workspace button I showed you here earlier. This is just a quick access where you can jump between your workspaces. Here's the one number 16 we've created earlier. This is just a quicker way to jump between all of your workspaces. Yes, so this one you can probably keep in mind, which is going to be helpful.